Can you say hello in Spanish?
I can. Hola.
Okay, say hello in Spanish.
Hola.
Hola.
Hola. Say hello in Spanish.
Hola. Can you say hello in French?
Bonjour.
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 Bonjour. Can you say hello in German?
I think it's Guten Tag?
Guten Tag.
No.
No, I don't know.
Don't know that one either.
No, not even close.
Hello.
Obviously, there's a problem here. Students and teachers at Grassfield High School can only communicate in verbal languages. Here are some statistics for you. 0 students at Grassfield can communicate only through Spanish. 0 students at Grassfield can communicate only through French. 0 students at Grassfield can communicate through only German. And yet 3 students at Grassfield can communicate only through American Sign Language. That's a relatively high number for our community. So how come American Sign Language isn't taught at Grassfield High School or any other Chesapeake public school? It's not for lack of students wanting to take the class.
Took Espanol, Spanish 4, and I loved it.
Would you have enjoyed American Sign Language more?
Yeah, probably. I think it would benefit me more.
Do you think you would have enjoyed American Sign Language more?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
I took French. I liked it. Wasn't very good at it.
Would you have enjoyed American Sign Language more?
Possibly. I've had some exposure to it, but I enjoyed it when I was younger, but I never really kept up with it.
As the graph shows, out of the 51 students we surveyed, over 25% of them said they would take American Sign Language. That's more than the number of students who said they wanted to take French, German, or Latin. So, if an American Sign Language class were offered, we believe there wouldn't be a problem in getting students to enroll.
The graph we have presented from our adult survey yielded great results for our proposal. The question asked was, would you encourage your child or a child within our community to take ASL? 27.5% of adults said they would encourage a student to take the course, while close to half said it was up to their child. Based on the results from both surveys, we can conclude that there will be a high number of students wanting and willing to take the course. We also provided a write-in other section and received nothing but positive remarks on the benefits of a child taking American Sign Language from an adult point of view.
We decided to talk to 2 Grassfield interpreters to see what they had to say about American Sign Language.
I went to a college and there were deaf students there, so I learned first to sign there in college. And since then, it's mostly students that I come into contact with. There are sometimes when I meet deaf adults, just doing different activities in the deaf culture. Mostly it's through the schools where I interpret with children. I've interpreted for children who are preschool all the way up through high school, and I've done some college interpreting. So there's some adults that I interpreted to there. Here in Chesapeake, we have several deaf students. There's about 15 interpreters in the school system alone. There are 3 students who use sign language here at Grassfield High School with 3 interpreters. So that means that there are a lot of deaf students in the area. And anytime that someone can take the time to learn their language can be very beneficial to the students' development and their lifestyle. Anytime someone takes advantage of learning sign language that can speak to our students, other students in the community is very beneficial.
Any foreign language is important to learn. Here in America, of course, is English, but there is a great population, 13% of the world's population, that is deaf and are sign language users. and communication and accessibility are two of the most important things that you could have in life. I would just like to add one thing, and that is that 95% of deaf children are born to hearing parents. One of the sad things is that when the baby is born, the doctors say, "I'm so sorry that your baby's deaf." But in real life, the deaf community has its own culture, has its own grammar, has its own language, and it is so rich and so wonderful that I wish that information was also given to the doctors and the parents.
Or why not?
Yes, absolutely. When my son was born, he was a baby, we taught him some signs because at that point he couldn't communicate. So we did teach him some of the sign language signs so that he could tell us when he was hungry, or he could learn simple words like thank you. So I do think it's important not only for people that are hearing impaired, but also maybe to help kids, babies, whoever, to communicate if they can't communicate orally.
As the graph shows, deafness affects people all around the world. While American Sign Language pertains to the English language spoken in America, other countries have their own versions of sign language. Mrs. Brown, an interpreter at Grassfield High School, is fluent in Dutch Sign Language as well as American Sign Language. She showed us the difference between the two.
Okay, so let's think of a sentence. Students go to school. I'm saying that in English, of course, but if I was doing it in ASL, it would be school students go. In Dutch Sign Language, you would say
American Sign Language is only understood by deaf individuals in America who have learned ASL. However, due to the similarities in facial expressions and body positions, people who know American Sign Language can still communicate with deaf individuals of other countries.
for 12 years and met many deaf people from around the world. Even though every country has its own sign language, I was still, because of facial expressions, body language, etc., we were able to communicate and actually have a relationship. I do not speak French, but if I meet a French deaf person, we can communicate without a problem. So in that sense, it's even a richer language than spoken language.
This is our call to action. There needs to be justice for the deaf community, as society is only partially accessible for the students who need ASL. Hearing, hard of hearing, and deaf students should all be able to feel included under one roof. Chesapeake Public Schools needs to have fair access for the deaf community by allowing American Sign Language to be taught as a foreign language course. Let's start this fad.
Hello, darkness, my friend. I've come to talk with you again. Because a vision softly creeping left its ease while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain.
OMG, LOL, YOLO, WTF. Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, hashtag 20,000 likes on Instagram, selfie, thirsty, bae, hit me up, first kiss, one night stand, haters, basic, photobomb, chill, turned up for the win, cool, Nile, nylon, Bernie Sanders, Britney Spears, Barack Obama, on fleek, Barack Obama on fleek.